This is not a profession. It's not a career. And even the so-called progressive working class sex positive minded woman who believes that she chooses this life, this honest hustle, even she does not freely choose this reality. The Rads are completely right about this. They're right about prostitution. Radicals like Andrea Dworkin, McKinnon. It remains a social and economic coercion of sex slavery. Women do not have a choice in this. Not the women in the streets. I know where they come from. Maybe not even you. Maybe not me. We might not have a choice. Not the not it's very plausible, and this is what the second wave feminists were saying too. It's very plausible that most women would be coerced into sex for money if our particular situations, our particular stations became dire quickly. As a matter of fact, there have been radicals, not just Dworkin. There's been radicals in the second wave that heavily talked about this comparison. They posited that the potential of sexual commodification is now a burden that all women absorb. They will all have to consider at one point or another in our lives, so long as we live under a capitalist system. Sucks. I mean, it has its perks. I can understand rather quickly why radical feminists who have analyzed the system of oppression in the past, I can understand why they would draw comparisons between the hooker and all other women. This is a thing. This is a thing among the radicals of the second wave that always fascinated me. A lot of them were sex prostitutes. It's really hard to say sex work. There's even a trend that I'll talk about later. Sex workers looking, finding solace in lesbianism. This happens for a reason. The second waivers, they used to write about they used to write about this. Ellen Strong was one of them. She's like an OG. She was actually in the life. She was one of these radical feminists that were, prostitute at one point for a very long time. Then she became a radical. She posited that, we're all pretty much kind of locked into the system of sex commodity, that underneath it, we're all hookers in a capitalist system. This is a thing. It's a flagrant view. But I think it's one that's coming around to transcendental womanist perspective. We're transcending. We're leaving behind the second wave, the third bullshit. This is a womanist perspective too, because it's Black and brown women here absorbing this trauma. We're seeing it among feminist thinkers in the mainstream too. Even, recently expressed so eloquently, I think, and I bring here as an example, one of Lana Del Rey's most recent songs. Let's talk about it. Because it cut like Dworkin. Kathleen Stock wrote a great article about Lana Del Rey. Please find it, read it, because I've been saying this for a while. Lana Del Rey is a feminist. You better watch. You better step if you don't think so. Because she is. But listen, and this is one of the examples, honestly, why I know fucking Lana Del Rey is a feminist. In this recent song of this year, A&W, this song invokes this implicit conundrum in sex commodity that I'm talking about. The idea that the hooker is you and you are her. In this song, Lana talks about forensic files, the diary of a teenage girl, rape culture. She talks about being the other woman, the side piece, and about the value system of oppressive sex. If anyone's been talking about oppressive sex, it's Lana Del Rey. She has explored this. And I believe that a lot of her lyrics, she's a poetess, very radical. She says, it's not about having someone love me anymore. This is the experience of being an American whore. She's talking about this very kind of mixed messaging that is part of the problem in this. It's from the time that we're girls. The confusing messaging on materialism and self-value. We say to girls, don't behave in this hypersexualized way. And then we also tell them that it's more important to survive and to have access and have money and have comforts, and that it's important to ascend our status in life, and that the value of the commodity of our bodies is more important than the means by which we acquire it. Status. The media glamorized prostitution to a great extent too. The entertainment industry has had a hand in this too. Like, I'm thinking Pretty Woman. Come on, that film over glamorized prostitution for me. I was like 12. Dang, that's brutally young. Why did my mom let me watch that? Like, come on. Everyone wanted to be Julia Roberts. And like, seriously, like, I remember this trend in Hollywood during the 90s and the early 2000s where like all these actresses were vying for hooker roles because it got you an Oscar. Okay, it was a sexy role and everybody wanted to play a freaking hooker. Do you see what I'm saying? This kind of messaging had a hand in how inflamed this problem got. But so have our mothers. So have our sisters, our aunts, when they tell us that we have to look a certain way to win a man. Our friends who suggest to us that we should have invasive surgery so that we can achieve the perfect body for the pleasure of men. Do you see? This message is woven into every facet of girlhood and womanhood.